Okay, welcome to Game 3 for the day, Game 2 for us here at Starladder Season 7, Day 3. Welcome to Dota Radio. Thank you so much for choosing us. We have four friends in Crilly facing off against Team Menace in another Best of One series. I'm Zyori, with me is APOC. How you doing, pal? Are you ready for Game 2?
Oh, I'm really ready for this game. I really like Jerax and Team Menace, and I've known four friends in Crilly for a long time. I've even screamed against them, so I really want to see what's happening here.
Oh, yeah. All right, so let's just run through these names quickly so we can not butcher pronunciation. On the dire side, four friends in Crilly, we've got Blom, Miley, Miley Strangeby,
No, that's Strangby. The first
Strangby,
one is Boomski, and he
Boomski,
just messed with his nickname. It's
Strangby,
Boomski, then Strangby, Gifted, Crilly, and the other one is a stand-in that I haven't
Karki.
known. Probably Karki.
Okay, and then on Team Menace, on the Radiant side, we do have Lapise, Boogie, Spin, Silpha, and Jerax.
It's Jerax. It's Jerax.
Just
That IE
Jerax.
is just there for.
Okay,
I don't know why.
just Jerax. Okay.
It's
All right,
Jerax.
well, I'm sure there'll be name butchering throughout this match. My apologies ahead of time here. The bans are going quickly, though. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening. 4CF, Four Friends, and Crilly going to start us off with bans on Lifestealer and the Wisp, and Menace going to throw bans on the dreaded Bat Rider, as well as the Lone Druid. So some of those powerful heroes we're so scared of going to make their way into the pool, and that will open the gates for a first pick Alchemist, followed by a Visage and Razor on Four Friends for Crilly, and then Outworld Destroyer picked up to complement that Alchemist on Team Menace. And with that next round of bans, Abaddon as well as Nyx Assassin going to be taken off the table. And the fourth ban coming out from 4FC, pardon me, will be Naga Siren. And one more fourth ban before the next round of hero picks come out. So Visage and Razor first pick for 4FC. Those are interesting first picks. The Visage is not quite as surprising, but a Razor picked on that early does make me scratch my head just a little bit.
Yeah, probably that early is kind of a strange pick, but we could see Razor was pretty important in the international. He was picked quite a few times,
Yep.
and I don't know. It's too early for me, in my opinion, to pick the Razor to commit to that pick.
Yep.
But probably Team Menace know them well and know that they play Razor, so they would ban it first opportunity they get.
Yeah. Well, that's a true case as well they may be afraid of. I mean, Menace is going to throw a ban out onto Bane, and Bane and Razor do serve semi-similar roles, both with the ability to steal or mitigate damage from an opposing carry. So there are some parallels there. Perhaps Team Menace does not want to have to deal with if they don't want to. So in the hands of Menace, they're going to add Darkseer to their Outworld Destroyer and Alchemist. And that's going to kick it over to 4FC for their next pickup. So Outworld Destroyer, he can play that kind of carry role. Alchemist, we've seen get out of control as well. What do you think Menace is lining up for here with their remaining two picks?
I don't know, man. This looks pretty team fight intensive.
Yep.
They're probably going for a Chen. I'm not sure about a Chen, but I think they're going for a Chen for the support for the heals in team fights. I don't know. They could go a Windrunner also, but they already have the Darkseer. They wouldn't have a place for a Windrunner.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I have no clue.
Well,
There's so many options.
time will tell. Yeah, that's very true. It's interesting seeing Abaddon banned out as well. He's not one that I have seen picked too much. In a couple of the Starladder games from yesterday, I saw he did get a little bit of attention, but I think I've yet to cast a game that has Abaddon in it. Which
Yeah, the latest patch just unlocked him. He was
Yep.
locked to the
yeah,
captain's mode, so
and a few
we
others.
can see Abaddon and we
Elder
can see,
Titan, I
the
think,
Troll. Yeah,
and the
Elder
Troll.
Titan and the Troll. I
Yeah.
think Kaipi played with Troll
Okay.
earlier in a tournament game, so Sing Sing was was the Troll,
Yep.
like everyone would expect.
Yep.
So it was pretty funny
So
to see him.
4FC going to grab Rubik with their third pick to go along with their Razor and Visage. So talk to me about Razor a little bit, laning-wise. Should we sort of expect a... Well, we'll hold that thought because Menace going to go ahead and grab Chen as their fourth pick. So kudos to you, sir, for the right call on that. And we'll see what 4FC does, though. So, but when you see a Razor, I mean, do we like sort of assume that that's going to be a tri-lane with Razor farming? Can he double as a mid-hero? What's the versatility with a Razor?
Oh, he goes really well in the tri lane. I don't think that they're gonna give Razor the mid lane,
Hmm.
because Outworld Devour will just destroy him.
Oh yeah.
Because even if Razor steals the damage from
I guess it
Outworld
is
Devourer,
Outworld Devourer, isn't it? I've been saying Outworld Destroyer this whole time. Did
he
they?
was destroyed,
He
but they
was okay.
just changed the name.
Okay,
Yeah, they
just like
changed.
Wisp, they just pulled it.
OD can just use the Arcane Orb
OD.
and farm away, even
Yep.
if he had the static link on top of him. So, and Razor would be destroyed because of that Astral Imprisonment. He would lose everything.
Yeah.
And
Now, I was getting at more.
find
If you see a
points.
Razor picked up, is that pretty much assured it's going to be a tri lane for the most part? Is that really what Razor does?
Yeah, pretty sure that he's gonna safe farm that.
Gotcha.
It's not in every case, but if you see a Razor being picked against the OD Devour, yeah, he's gonna be in the safe lane.
Gotcha. So, all right, Nature's Prophet going to be the fourth pick for 4FC. So I like the Furion pickup here. He's going to do well in that off lane if they choose to do that, depending on what they do with this last pick. I just love the Furion pickup, especially early on in a draft. This is late to see him picked up here, but if he's one of the first or second heroes picked up, so much versatility with where he can go and what he can do.
There's a lot of hate going on the internet, saying that Nature's Prophet is like that rat gaming strategies that everyone's fighting, and he's just MOing and autisming the towers and alone, and he can just turn around the whole game. Even if your
Yep.
team is losing, you can win the game by yourself, and that's why a lot of people give him hate and credit
Yeah.
because of that. I really like his pick because he can be everywhere in the map all the time, and he can just pop in and out and change the whole outcome of the battle.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. We talked about that last time we were casting a little bit, how you can set up these fights where, all right, this exchange wouldn't have been cost-effective, but because you were distracting the team and had your Furion counter-pushing some tower off on the side of the map, actually made it an okay exchange. So he does bring a lot to the table, a lot in the way of versatility.
That really makes sense when Team Menace is picking a team to team fight their Leon.
Yep.
And if you get a Nature's Prophet, that just is a bit of a counter to that.
Yeah,
But
that's...
let's see if four friends and Krillin can pull out this and just juke the fights and avoid the fights, or they
Yeah.
want to fight 4v5 and really win.
That's true, actually.
big
I do like
fights.
the roster that Four Friends and Crilly have picked up so far. They got that Rubik early on as well, and he's going to serve as a presence that's going to deter Team Menace from wanting... Well, they're not going to pick Enigma. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with Enigma, man. Every time I'm just like, uh-oh, Enigma's an option, but it's not a good option. It wouldn't fit into what Menace is doing
You
here.
want to see black holes.
I just
You
want to see
wanna
black holes. That's really it. They're my favorite. Like, all right, it's coming. Oh, the black hole. It's like you get 3 seconds of super easy casting where I know I just get to yell and be real excited and just be like, oh my god, they're all in trouble. Oh, Jesus. So, last 2 bans are going to come out, though. Anti-Mage is going to get banned by Menace. After a lot of deliberation, they break into that reserve time. And Four Friends and Crilly kind of insta-banning Vengeful Spirit as their last ban. That one... I'm just surprised. Venge doesn't get too much love in any aspect these days. So,
Enigma coming out for Friends and Krillin?
ooh, they could. It would be an interesting play. I mean, they just. I guess Outworld Devourer can carry a bit
They
if they
wouldn't.
wanted to do that. It would be a weird pick, though. They would have this really weird. All we can do is team fight. Post 30-minute mark, we're going to be in trouble. Kind of
They wouldn't. They wouldn't.
play. I don't think that they will, but they've.
That's really greedy.
Yeah, they've only got 10 seconds of reserve time, so whatever Menace is trying to do here, they're very...
Menace needs the support for the Alchemists. They really need, because... Oh, what?
And
Clockwork?
they grab Clockwork. So this is going to be...
Clockwork is for Jerax, I'm pretty sure, and he's going to be offlane with that. Or should be. But the Darkseer? I don't know, man.
Yeah, this is weird. This is weird. So an offlane Clockwork, a roaming Darkseer in the jungle with Chen, Outworld Destroyer in the middle, and Alchemist trying to farm in the safe lane. This is going to be weird for Menace. I don't know how they're going to try and make this one work out.
Yeah, I really want to see a Darkseer with the Clockwork in the same team.
Yeah.
And who's going to support the Alchemist? That's the biggest issue in my opinion. Who's going to
Yeah.
support the Alchemist?
Yeah. And for
Probably the
four...
Clockwork, but
And for 4FC here, they're on their last pick, and I think they just need a good middle. What's the best counter to Outworld Devourer? If you're going to pick something up, what's the best option?
in the mid lane,
Yeah.
probably Nyx is pretty good because he
Ooh.
can, but they can't pick it right now because they banned it.
Yeah.
The Bat Rider is pretty good also. Bat Rider is counter to every single hero, so that doesn't
Yeah.
count really. Uh,
Queen of Pain is an option. I mean, I guess they could put Rubik mid and then take another support here if they wanted to do that.
No, they're just picking now a hero for OD. We're gonna see what they want
Yeah.
to think about putting in the middle against Devour. I'm not
So,
sure what they're gonna
and
go
they're
with.
breaking into reserve time here. Only 9 seconds left. They need to make an executive decision. And a Marana. Wow.
Oh yes, this is gonna
That
be a pretty awesome game.
that is cool. So are we assuming Marana is going to be mid here? A mid Marana.
No, I'm not sure. I think Miran's gonna be enough. Probably that's a probability. Nature's Prophet can go mid lane also.
All right. Well, this is going to be a good
And
game, guys. Yeah, Nature's Prophet good. There's a lot of
yes,
versatility here. I'm going to be excited to see how these lanes work out because both teams kind of taken some interesting. Clockwork and Marana would not have been my guesses for last picks in this match.
yeah. Let's go.
By
Let's
any
go over the
means.
teams. Four Friends and Crilly just picked Visage, Razor, Rubik, Nature's Prophet, and Mirana.
Yep. And
And the team Menace just picked Alchemist, Alto Devourer, Darkseer, Chen, and the Clockwork.
yeah.
So that leaves a lot in the air. Theory crafts.
Yes, certainly right. And it looks like whoever is playing Visage here is slow to load. It looks like it's
Now that's a tactical pause.
is it pause? Oh, there we go.
They're taking their time to say how they're going to lane, probably. Oh man, I'm really excited about this game.
Alrighty. So once again, guys, you can visit us at www.dotaradio.com. You can check out the Twitch stream as well as the audio-only stream and enjoy all things Dota Radio has to offer. Team Menace going to be on our Radiant side, and they are going to start in the bottom lane. All 5 of them going to be moving out, possibly on guard for an early Furion port and ward action. That is something that a Furion can do if they take port first and can try and ward up and going to be stuck in enemy territory. We've certainly seen that a time or two. This Furion not going to do that, though. Will go Nature's Call first. So I think it's safe to say he will be spending some time in the jungle here. And
Yeah, he's gonna be jungling.
Yep.
He's gonna be jungling first. No, he
well,
can
no,
go
he's going to be
mid lane
going
with that build.
mid, I guess. I don't know. These lanes are
Yes.
so strange right now.
Yeah, at this moment we're gonna have Razor solo at the top, and they're gonna have an Razor solo at the top against I don't know, against someone. It's
Against
kind of strange.
Clockwork, yeah, we're going to have to
Probably
wait a
against
minute
Clockwork
before.
right now.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna have an aggressive tri lane with Visage, Rubik, and the Mirana from the team 4FC going up against Alto Devourer on tri lane. This is really strange. I think DS is middle, Darkseer is mid lane.
Yeah, that's right.
Against
Boogie
Nature's
on the
Prophet.
Darkseer is going to be mid lane against Nature's Prophet. So there you have it. DS versus Nature's Prophet. Chen going to be up in the top lane. The 0-0 or up in the top rune. 0-0 rune going to spawn. It will be a haste. He's just going to pick it up and head down into the jungle. In the top lane, we are going to have a long lane Clockwork for Team Menace being played by Spin. He'll be going up against Blom on the Razor. So that leaves us with this mess of a bottom lane here, which is going to be the Marana, Visage, and Rubik tri-lane for the Dire side, of course, 4FC, and on the Radiant side, it's going to be Outworld Destroyer in lane, then he's going to have the Chen support, and I guess, is this a support Alchemist roaming around? We were worried about who's going to
Yes.
support the Alchemist. I guess he's going to be the one doing the supporting here, which
That's
is...
support Alchemist. That's the exact thing that I was thinking. I just forgot that Alchemist was played as a support sometimes.
Sometime.
That's yeah, sometimes. In this case, Jerax is gonna play the support. Jerax is a stand-in for them, so he's playing lately the support. He usually goes with the Visage or something,
Okay.
and they're gonna have an engagement. with
Yeah, a little bit of
Alchemist.
action here down by the bottom rune in the Radiant jungle. Uh-oh, Rubik in a little bit of trouble. He's going to eat an Alchemist stun. Shen going to come in, and that's going to be an easy first blood. It's going to go to the hands of the support Alchemist, actually. So a little bit of counter-warding action here. Both teams were able to kill an opposing side sentry, but it did cost Rubik his life. So Menace going to get an easy opener here, and they're going to pull ahead a little bit in the first minute of this match. Razor is leading the way in farm right now, and so is Furion. So 4FC still in okay shape. Looks like Razor is having a good time against an offlane Clockwork here. But solo Razor and Clockwork, we are going to see Spin at least pick up a little bit of farm in the offlane Clockwork, which is a nice change because we're so used to seeing these offlaners just get, well, completely shat on, in a manner of speaking.
Yeah, that's true. And one of my favorite heroes is Razor. So the other one is Clockwork. So I'm gonna be on watching this lane, man.
Tunnel
I really
visioning on
like
this
heroes.
top lane. Yeah, I mean, seeing a Razor pick up a lot of farm right now, he's the leading farmer in this match, so that is a fun thing to see as well. You don't usually see him as that primary hard carry. Razor, carry us to victory. At least also with
Yeah,
solo
and he's not going
experience.
for a plasma field.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna get ganked by DS.
Uh-oh. Yep, DS coming up. He's in the side shop. He's going to get sandwiched here. The Cog's going to come in. They're going to push him away into the trees. The Ion Shield doing a huge amount of damage. That's going to be an easy
What
kill.
a body block.
Yep,
What a body block by Boogie.
Darkseer going to make it happen. So we have a mid lane roaming, ganking Darkseer here. Boogie, as you mentioned, beautiful body blocking to make that kill happen. Great use of the Surge and Ion Shield together to set that up. Down in the bottom lane, though, things heating up. Rubik in trouble once again. Is Rubik going to be the first to fall here? No, looks like he may get away. Uh-oh, now Mirana in a little bit of trouble. The leap. Oh, and those last few auto attacks aren't quite going to make it. So 4FC, it's a tri-lane versus tri-lane for the most part. Chen popping out of the jungle here to help support Menace. And almost picking up a few more kills. So they do have a little bit more disable, I guess. Visage, Rubik, and Mirana. Not a bad tri-lane, all three of them being ranged, but they're just so squishy compared to the Alchemist and, of course, all those Chen creeps. They just don't have the AoE damage to deal with all the units, it would seem.
Yeah, you're right. And the biggest issue here for Boomski on that Razor is that he didn't go for a plasma field, and he doesn't have any escape mechanisms. He's probably relying on his unstable current, which he has 1 point, and his boots to just outrun the Clockwork. But I don't think if he gets ganked again by Boogie, he can outrun that. But I don't know, man. That was pretty awesome. Boogie went for the rune, the top rune, but then he surged away and ganked top.
Oh.
That was pretty something to see.
Yep. And 4-minute rune here. It is going to be a double damage. It spawns top, but the Furion for 4FC was on top of it. Actually did deny it with one of his creeps. So he is on point with that. Let's take a look at this mid matchup here. Let's look at some of the farm differences. Furion 22-9 and Darkseer 21-0. So they are even in farm, and Darkseer did make it out of the lane to pick up a kill. So
and he's far in the. He's heading away, and he's level 6, and the Furion. Oh, just hit level 6.
Yeah,
never mind.
just now hitting 6.
It was
But
just level 5.
very even mid lane though. Boogie did go for the mana piece first, the energy booster, and Krilly just going for fast phase boots. So he's getting some of that right click damage, and he does hit quite hard for his early level of 6. That's one thing I love about those early phase boots. They just give you that nice little damage boost for a 5 to 10 minutes or so, where
Yeah,
farming
that's
becomes
the build
easy.
that you go when you go middle or
Yep.
lane with Nature's Prophet. You don't usually go with that Midas,
And-
Leon, but
In the bottom, things almost heating up on Outworld Devourer. Oh, the Furion ult going to be used. It's going to take a lot of bounces. Is it going to be enough? One more auto attack, and no, Outworld Devourer will survive. Oh, he does go down. Nature's Prophet going to be able to finish him off. The Courier in a little bit of trouble. Courier going to fall as well. Krilly going to come in, and he's just racking up the gold. A great port, and wow, that's going to give them a nice little edge right there. It's going to make it 2-1
that's exactly
here.
what we're talking about, man. Nature's Prophet just used his ultimate. He destroyed someone, almost the whole team fight. He brought everyone so low, and OD couldn't win from his teleport. That was a mismanagement by the Courier, but it was a bonus for 4FC. So
Yep.
you can see the gold graph and the gold graph going all the way from 500 in the favor of Menace to 500 in the favor of 4FC.
Yeah, nice 1,000 gold swap right there. That's what an early courier kill will do for you. So definitely good news there. The 6-minute rune will spawn. That is going to be a haste picked up in the top by Mr. Boogie on the Darkseer. He has now picked up a bottle, so he's going to toss it in the bottle. And Darkseer with a haste is a little bit scary. He may be able to roam up top and do a little damage to that Razor. Certainly no outrunning with a haste rune. But speaking of Razor, he has now picked up his phase boots as well. And also speaking of Boogie headed top, looks like he's going to do just that. Will use the haste. He's going to move into the dire jungle, going to come up from behind. Clockwork reasonably low on mana, has enough for about one ability, does not have enough for a hook shot. So Boogie going to go straight in, does have the Ion Shield on, going to vacuum backwards straight into the cogs. I think Razor is in trouble here, and that's going to be a kill. The other day we were talking about cogs. Level 1, 5 seconds, and that's what made that kill possible. So
Oh, yes.
it's going to be 3-1 now in favor of Menace.
He was trying to juke it, but Vacuum doesn't allow you to do that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, vacuum into the cogs. Pretty clutch little play right there. They made it look so easy, but a good bit of coordination coming out between those two to set up a nice kill on Razor.
I hope we see that later on when there's a whole big team fight. I hope we see a big Vacuum with into a hook shot and then into a power cog. I think that's going to be really awesome to see.
So although Razor has been farming pretty well in the top lane, he is doing well in terms of last hits. Bottom. Are things heating up? Oh, yep. We are going to see some action. A stun going to be onto Mirana. That's the hook shot coming in. Level 4 Mirana going to be in big trouble. Clockwork diving the tower, taking a lot of damage, is going to be able to make it back. The fight's continuing as Visage now taking a lot of damage. He's going to fall to the hands of Alchemist. That's going to be a 2-0 exchange here at the 8-minute mark, pushing Menace ahead 5-1. Beautiful gang setup right there. The smoke, Clockwork from the side. Easy to land those hook shots when they're disabled. Very nicely done by Menace.
Yeah, they smoked. They TP'd 4 people bottom. They smoked, and Jerax opened up with Unstable Concoction. But as he walked in to throw the Unstable Concoction onto the Mirana, he reacted really fast, and he jumped back. But then Mr. Clockwork just leveled the field with his hook shot.
Yep. Absolutely right. During that while, the 8-minute rune did spawn as well, and Illusion is going to be bottled up by Boogie in the mid lane. He is just about to hit level 9, and Furion, who's been farming away this whole while, is leading the way in levels this match, and he is level 9 at the moment. So Furion continuing to get scared. He's also leading the way on net worth, 3,800 gold in net worth right now, and second to him is Darkseer with 3,300. And this poor Razor, who has been farming so much up in the top, is third on the net worth chart, and a good bit behind the mid laners. So those ganks that they've set up on him really slowing him down and preventing 4FC from having kind of that pocket ace, so to speak, to help him out later on when they're going to need that hard carry action to deal with this Outworld Devourer.
It's not that bad for them because the biggest network right now is Krilly in the middle lane, and the top. Oh, never mind, just swapped. But it was the top 3 where 2 of them were for FC, so it wasn't that bad of a change for them.
Yep. Nope, definitely not. Furion now going to go for his early Hand of Midas also, so going to continue farming very aggressively. Mirana down here does have the Ring of Aquila and Grey Boots, only level 5, one of the remaining relics from that tri-lane, of course sacrificing experience for farm. Visage only level 3 right now, so that level difference starting to hurt 4FC a little bit as well. Rubik only level 4, and they are the 2 lowest in this game. Alchemist, the only level 4 hero on the side of our Radiant team. So, and down at the bottom rune, we're going to see a little bit of an engaged Clockwork going to be able to catch Rubik, and that's going to be an easy kill, making it 6-1 now here about the 10-minute mark. As Menace continues to pull ahead, but all the while, Razor is continuing to free farm in the top, and his name, is it Bloomski? Is that right?
Boomski.
Boomski.
Without an L.
No L. God, these names,
yeah, there's
man.
no L.
So,
but yeah, he's just, I don't know, man.
Boomski. Trolling me hard, yes indeed.
Yeah, they're trolling the new players and the guys that don't know them.
Yeah. Alright, fair enough. So it looks like Darkseer is working towards his mechanism as well. Does have he's got 2 chainmails. Oh god, I'm getting the inventories confused. He's working on the mech. He's very close. Just needs the recipe. Yeah, I noticed Clockwork had the chainmail, and that's what threw me off for a second.
Oh, because he's going for the for that thing. What was it called? I always forget the name of this thing. Blade Mail? Yeah, he's going for the Blade Mail.
Going for the early Blade Mail. Yeah, we mentioned it's nice to see an off-laner pick up a good bit of farm. Clockwork is doing well. He is level 8, just about to hit level 9. Has the Phase Boots, the Chainmail already, and, like you said, working towards that Blade Mail. He's in good shape. He's actually 3-0-1 right now also, so he's leading the way on the kill, deaths, and assist chart. And speaking of the mechanism, it is just now going to get picked up by that Darkseer. So he is going to be even that much more scary now, as he does have Arcane Boots as well. He's cruising all over the place. He's got mana. He's got health. He's also got a bottle. There's no shutting down that Darkseer.
Yeah, something that's really interesting about this tri-lane is that this tri-lane for 4FC, even though they don't have really that hard carry, in the Mirana. She doesn't need that much of items as much as Outward Devourer needs. So they're pretty close to farm, where Mirana has 32 for 7, and the Outward Devourer is fairly ahead of her. He's 43 in 17, but she doesn't require that much of farm. So I think they're in a pretty good shape. They're rotating people so she can solo a little. Probably this is going to be the point where she's going to get a lot more experience.
Yeah. And I also
she's behind in experience. She's level 6 and the OD is level 8, so...
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. And I like the choice from OD here. He has picked up Force Staff. He's got Grey Boots, a Ring of Protection, and Force Staff. So going for that early mobility, wants to be able to initiate as well as have an out in these upcoming team fights. As that is one of the drawbacks of Outworld Destroyer. It does get scary, does do a lot of damage, but not the most mobile of heroes. So we are going to see some pushing in the bottom lane. The opposing tri-lane, as it may be now, Boogie, the Shen, as well as Outworld Devourer are going to pressure this Tier 1 in the bottom lane. Visage going to come in to pose a little bit of a defense. Mirana trying to line up for an arrow. She's over by the Ancients, but just not going to find the opportunity. Menace a little bit wise to her game, and they're not going to give her the opportunity that she's looking for to land an easy arrow. Now Rubik going to come in as well, and right now 4FC just kind of watching their bottom tower die. Here comes the arrow. It's going to connect with Boogie. The Darkseer going to be in some trouble here. Mirana has to come all the way around, though. Outworld Destroyer going to put him in the Astral Shift. Razor going to port in. Boogie going to be caught in the tower. They're going to try to finish him off, but he's going to surge away. He's going to mech. He's going to get the Force Staff, but not going to be enough. It's a 5-hero engage down here for 4FC. They're going to be able to corner Outworld Destroyer. He's going to fall as well. That's going to level it out a little bit. 6-3 now here at the 14-minute mark. Everyone was there except Krilly, so it was a 4-man engage. As Krilly actually taking a bit of damage in the mid lane. He's going to head towards home. So nicely done by 4FC to set up on that Darkseer. I thought the Darkseer was going to be able to get away between the Surge, the mech, and everything else, but they had just enough damage to finish him off.
Yeah, and that engagement just gave 4FC the 1k difference that they needed. They were pretty even before that engagement. They were exactly 19k in experience, both teams, but now they're 4FC is 1k ahead of them because of that fight.
Yep.
They ported 4 people bottom, which gave the Nature's Prophet again the space that he needs to farm, and he went for a Midas. Despite that, he was mid laning and farming, and guess he needs to farm a little more.
Yep. And speaking of Nature's Prophet, he has now picked up his Shadow Blade, but Menace going to continue pressure down in the bottom. This Tier 1 tower, just 100 hit points left. Boogie going to eat another arrow to the face. He's going to get shifted again. It's Deja Vu all over. Razor going to pour it in. Now Furion coming. Boogie going to pop out of the shift. He's going to get dropped like a bottle of rocks into a river. Now Alchemist going to be in some trouble as well. It's going to be another 2-for-0 exchange as Menace try and pressure this Tier 1 in the bottom lane. And amazingly, they do keep it alive. It is at 91 hit points. Beautifully done by 4FC. Can't believe Menace going to make the same mistake twice. They're now falling further behind, trailing by about 3,000 gold now after that bad exchange, where it's going to be even more in a few moments as they are destined to lose their own Tier 1 tower down here at the bottom. Furion does have the treants. They may come in and pose a bit of a defense. Uh-oh, Clockwork with a hook shot ready. He's coming in on the other side of the trees. He's going to try and make something happen. Going to connect with 3. Going to catch 2 in the cogs. Mirana going to leap out. Rubik going to be caught in the cogs. Visage in terrible positioning. I think he may fall here. Down he goes. Outworld Destroyer going to get the ult off. Clockwork will fall in the end, but it's still going to be a 2-for-1 exchange. Clockwork for the Rubik and the Visage. They do keep their tower alive as well. So both sides overcommitting for these Tier 1 towers in that bottom lane. On the way out, Razor will get the deny on the Dire Tier 1 in the bottom. So now at the 60-minute mark, we've settled down 8-6. Menace still leading in kills, but trailing in virtually every other aspect of this match.
And this fight, we talked about the lineups that they've picked, that they needed an early fight on Team Menace. But 4FC doesn't step back. They're really fighting really well in this team fights early on. And I guess they didn't counter-pick anything. They just went in and picked their early team fight lineup of their own. So they've been doing really well. Though Jerax just ported in and baited out them, they were kind of in the... They were guessing why was he there. He ported alone on the bottom Tier 1 tower. Then he got stunned twice, I think. He didn't eat an arrow to the face. because 4FC was just doubting that decision. Why was he there? Why did he port alone? But then he had backup on the clockwork from the left, from hidden in the jungle, and he got a lot of them. He got 3 of them in those clocks. One was outside, and he got mana burn on the other side of the cogs next to the tower, so he died. But then he traded for the clock. But they killed 2 for 1. They did a good exchange. Yeah, exactly, and that was good for them. Do you remember where Jerax comes from? Have you heard about him?
Jerax? No, I do not know about Jerax.
Jerax was a player that played with Sing Sing and Lolquap in Dirty Minds. Do you remember Dirty Minds?
Yes, I do. I forgot about Dirty Minds.
Lolquap, Jerax, Sing Sing, and 2 other players that I don't really remember really well. Era was from their team. Era from Fnatic. Jerax, yeah, and then there was someone else.
Okay.
They were one of my favorite teams. So Jerax is here, is back.
Jerax is back.
He used to play with Sing Sing some months ago, but they're not playing together anymore.
Yeah, speaking of Sing Sing, I need to go back and watch the KP games from yesterday. That makes me so much more intrigued in Team KP now that they picked up Sing Sing. It's, I don't know, just an added element of sort of like what's going to happen there. But, we're going to hold that thought up in the top lane. Krilly in a little bit of trouble. He's going toe-to-toe with Spin. He's got some support. Krilly going to be the first to fall here in the top lane. I think Visage may fall shortly after. A bit of an overcommitment from our buddy Jerax right there on... he's the ringer for 4FC. Did they get the tower kill? Was it already down? No, the tower's just there. They were just caught way too far forward. Yeah, just caught way too far forward. And Menace going to be able to clean it up. So that's going to help put a curb in their... gold difference here. They were trailing by almost 4,500, now only 3,000, so closing that gap a little bit. We were busy kind of snapping our carrots there to some other content. I don't know what they were doing up there. Why were they up past the river by themselves?
They're probably looking for a gank on someone, but then they weren't expecting that many people teleporting there.
Yeah.
I think it was the Nature's Prophet that was trying to push. But then there were some supports nearby for Nature's Prophet if something went wrong. But he wasn't expecting that many players coming from Menace.
Definitely
and that
not.
was kind of gruesome for them. But one thing that I didn't thought of before was the Alchemist stun. Because of I've seen such great plays from the Darkseer and Alchemist combo that he goes for a vacuum while the Alchemist is charging his Stable Concoction, and he throws it at the max Stable Concoction right after the vacuum, and it has an AoE of 175, I think, and it deals a lot of damage. It's just a lot of damage.
Yeah, you're right. That's another.
One of the best combos of them.
That is a strong combo that we hadn't quite mentioned before. Let's mention some items here, though, as more have been picked up. Clockwork did finish that blade mail that we were talking about earlier. And, we're going to hold that thought as he's going to go in and use it. He's going to throw a hook shot into Razor in the mid lane, and he's just going to get taken out. Mirana going to grab that kill. Vacuum going to be used on Razor here. Boogie wants the kill, but not going to find it. So it was a sort of a weird engage right there. Clockwork just jumped the gun, hopped in by himself, and got taken out. All the while, Nature's Prophet was soloing Roche, and he did get that kill. Nature's Prophet going to port in. He's going to finish off the courier. Very nicely done by Curly right there, right behind the tier 2 in the mid lane for the Radiant. He caught it running back. He ports in, finishes it off with one hit, and ports the hell out of there. Beautiful heads-up play.
That was kind of strange. They miss micro the courier probably. They weren't expecting.
A little bit. I mean, they weren't expecting it. He did. He saw where it was going to be. He blinked in, used the Shadow Blade, or he
Shadow Blade.
So they weren't quite ready for it. But
I totally forgot about the Shadow Blade there.
Yeah. But Furion, man, just making money. He's in the Roche pit, gets the last hit on Roche, gets the Aegis, and then ports in, gets the courier kill, and then just ports out. It's like, Jesus. I wish I was Furion.
One of the memes that came from TI3 was Nature's Prophet picks and Hala Hala get dollar.
Hala Hala get dollar.
Hala Hala get dollar.
Yep. Oh, and some action down here, though. Yeah, Furion going to get caught near the creep pole in the bottom Radiant jungle. The Aegis going to get burned, but he is going to be able to pick up a kill on the Clockwork to make it worth it. Mirana going to be in here as well as the Familiars from Visage, and that's going to make it a kill in exchange for the Aegis. All the while in the mid lane, Razor was pushing for the Dire, and Chen was able to score a deny. So that's going to be all the outer towers down for the Radiant side. Only one down for our Dire, so 4FC does have a nice tower advantage with that Roche kill and that tower kill in the mid lane. They're continuing to pull ahead, now about 7,500 gold ahead of Menace there on the Radiant. So even this Razor starting to get a little more scary. He's now picked up a Mechanism, does have the Mithril Hammer and Ogre Club with 1,000 gold in the bank, so very close to that BKB, and Bloomski will be that much more powerful. So Mech on Razor, is that a normal pickup? Because I'm not so used to seeing that.
Well, it's not really a normal pickup, but given situations, yeah, it's okay to pick up. The thing is with mech on carry heroes, like OD, usually OD would pick a mech, but in this case they gave him the mech to the Dark Tier. Usually OD picks a mech with a force staff, and heroes that are squishy and that are supposed to be carry late game, they usually pick a mech so they can sustain themselves. It's kind of selfish, but they really can fight off a lot earlier on and survive a lot, because they provide a lot of damage early, but they're like a glass cannon. But if you pick a mech on them, you just correct that with the heal that the mech provides.
Yep.
So Razor's gonna pick a Black King Bar. This is one of the things that Razor is good at, because he doesn't really need early on damage items because of his static link. So he can go for a mech and a BKB. And probably the next item he's gonna pick is something that gives him more movement speed and damage, preferably Sanjay Yasha or I don't know, something in the ways.
Boogie may find himself in some trouble down here in the bottom lane where that tier 1 tower used to be. Mirana not going to connect with the arrow. Furion going to blink in, but the surge in mech going to be enough to keep him alive. He cut down that tree pretty damn quick there and made it out. So that Darkseer just hard to lock down. May get a little bit easier here. I was going to say it's going to be easier once Nature's Prophet finishes that Orchid Malevolence, but he had it there, and it still wasn't enough. But on that point, Furion getting more and more scary as time continues in this match. And he's going to port up to the top lane.
Because of the mech, man.
Yep.
Darkseer just used the mech, the thing that we were talking about.
Uses the mech, runs away, and that's all she wrote. It's the end of the fight.
He survives, of course. He survives the Market of Malevolence because of that.
Yep.
And top lane. Jerax is going to fall to the Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet just was invisible by the Shadow Blade and used Arcane Malevolence on the Alchemist, and he could just finish him off.
Yep. An easy kill. We talked about this Alchemist being support in this game. He's got nothing but phase boots and a magic wand. So that is an easy kill for Nature's Prophet right now. A bit out of character for Alchemist, but cater to play the support role here. And in the top lane again, Outworld Destroyer going to get engaged on, going to survive with about 5 health, but it won't be enough. Nature's Prophet is going to get that last hit on him, and that's going to finish him off. Now Clockwork going to be in some trouble. He's going to hop in, going to use the Blade Mail, but it's just going to be too little, too late. The Blade Mail helps, but it just doesn't return enough damage. So that's going to be a 3-for-0 exchange here up in the top lane at the Radiant Tier 2. That Tier 2 tower is going to fall to the hands of Nature's Prophet. And 4FC just going to keep pushing in here. Chen going to get caught by the Rubik Telekinesis. Razor going to finish him off in just a couple of last hits. Darkseer now going to die very quickly. Razor going to pick up a double kill. Unfortunately, Menace just crumbling here, running in one at a time, seemingly suiciding into the forces of 4 friends in Krilly. They're going to now pressure this Tier 3 in the top lane. I think it's going to be slated to die, and Menace may find themselves with exposed top lane of Rax. No, perhaps not. They're just going to back up. The Chen creep's actually coming in, doing a surprising amount of damage to Krilly. That's going to force Krilly back. He is going to port out with a few hit points to spare, and they will keep that Tier 3 alive in the bottom lane, or in the top lane, pardon me. But that Tier 3 tower with only 300 hit points left will make for an easy push later on in this match. Let's take a glance at the gold graph quickly here. 14,000 gold ahead is where 4FC finds themselves here at the 25-minute mark.
Yeah, something we didn't mention was the Rubik. Rubik just, he was able to... Okay, never mind.
Oh, and the bottom lane, yeah, action continuing. Nature's Prophet going to catch Alchemist again, and he's just going to cut through him like butter to a warm knife. I mean, that is a free kill if Furion can catch him, especially with the Orchid. I mean, Alchemist can't even stun him to try and run away. He just has to stand there and watch himself die, basically. That's really all he can do.
Something, but it's kind of covered with that Furion.
Yeah.
Being invisible everywhere, and with that Orchid, he's kind of squishy at the moment, so can't really survive that. He doesn't have a mech.
Yeah, he doesn't have a mech, nothing he can do.
Yeah, nothing you can do about that. But something important that I was mentioning about the team fight was that Rubik was able to steal Astral Imprisonment, and he could Astral Imprisonment someone and then telekinesis the other one. So he had a dual disable, a kind of a long disable on 2 heroes while the team fight was going on. So that was one of the key things that 4FC had going on for them.
Yep.
It was pretty important there.
Definitely. We see Rubik getting a ward up on that plateau there in the Radiant jungle. Visage helping out with those familiars there as kind of a visual scout as well as an escort in case he runs into any kind of trouble. Speaking of Rubik, he's now picked up a 4th stick of his own. Marana now picking up a BKB to complement her Drums of War. So that first core item really is going to be a BKB. Marana just trying to get some sustainability in these fights. As you mentioned, she's not quite as item reliant as the Outworld Destroyer, and he's been struggling a little bit. He got that early Force Staff, and now he hasn't really picked up any other core items past that. He does have the Ultimate Orb, but that's it. Another 1,400 gold in the bank. And, a huge pickup here, just as we're speaking about items. Furion going to right-click that Scythe of Vice. So now he is just a deadly force to be reckoned with, hitting for about 250 on each auto attack. Has a ton of crowd control, huge mobility. This is when Furion really starts to take over.
Poor Jerax, man. Poor Jerax.
Yeah, poor Jerax.
He needs to farm. He needs to farm a mech.
Yeah, Jerax on that Alchemist going to feel the wrath. Now Darkseer may as well. He's going to get caught in a Sprout, going to take an Orchid. And now Furion just harassing a little bit, going to Shadow Blade and back off in the top lane. Meanwhile, the rest of his team, 4FC, pressuring the last remaining Tier 2 tower for Menace in the mid lane. The Glyph going to be used, but it looks like Menace doesn't even want to pose a defense. They're just going to bide some time and hang out in the base. It's a 4v5 in the mid as we do have Furion in the top. He wants to pressure this lane, wants to take out that easy low tower push. 200 hit points on the Tier 3 remaining in the top lane. But as I say that, Furion will port out and join his teammates in the middle.
Yeah, Shuriken is a pushing machine at this moment. Yep. He only needs to buy something like a Desolator to melt down towers. And if 4FC can just force engagements while he just right-clicks the tower, this is going to be their strategy.
Yep.
Because looking at this lineup from Menace, they can't really answer to a split push. They're really committed to a team fight. And I don't think that any hero from Menace can stand up against this Nature's Prophet.
Nope, and we're going to see there's the combination, the Vacuum as well as the Cogs. They're not going to be perfectly mixed, though, and the Vacuum's just going to kind of push them into the side of Cogs, do a little bit of damage, but BKB is going to be popped, and everyone on 4FC will survive. Furion going to use that ultimate, going to catch a couple of bounces, and both teams with a few heroes at half health, and everyone's just going to kind of back up and reset the fight. So a nice attempted engage from Menace. Fortunately, the hook shot not going to connect quite as well as they would have liked. This tower now going to be in trouble. The Tier 2 is going to fall. Sheep going to be used on Jerax, but no follow-up. So 4FC still going to come out victorious here. They will get that tower kill. No one dead on the field as both teams disengage. So I think 4FC is happy with that. They are going to back up with even more map control. They've only lost one tower, that Tier 1 in the bottom lane, and they've now taken out all of the Tier 1s and Tier 2s of their opponents. So not only do they have map control, but they're just in a much safer position all around. They don't have to worry about counter pushing anytime soon.
I don't think that we've noticed that this enough. The clockwork, like the combination between the Vacuum into a hookshot into the Cogs was pretty awesome, but the whole team was caught in that by 4FC. They were all inside of the Cogs for a brief second before they were pushed out, because I don't think that they all fit in there. But it was pretty amazing to see that.
Yep.
They were all inside of the Cogs and they were pushed away into the wall of the Darkseer, which is pretty amazing, but the problem there is that they couldn't stay in the same place. They just ran back and re-engaged. So that could have been really great for Menace, but at the end, because of that cog push, it just went badly.
Second Roche kill going to come out for 4FC here. The whole team going to group up, take him out in a matter of seconds. Furion going to be the one to grab the Aegis. He does have just about 3,000 gold in the bank, and he will port up to the top lane. All the while, Menace deciding to group up. All 5 of them here in the top lane. They want to pressure that Tier 1 tower of 4FC. They've decided enough is enough. We need to take out these Tier 1 towers. Clockwork going to throw a hook shot, not going to connect. Tower still alive with just about 400 hit points. The Glyph is still up. Furion leading the way. He's going to throw a Sprout that's going to catch Alchemist and Outworld Devour. Outworld Devour going to eat a sheep. Alchemist very well, maybe the first to fall here. Down he goes. In goes the Clockwork. The Cog's going to catch the Nature's Prophet. He's just seconds from falling. Down he goes, but the damage has been done. Outworld Destroyer and Chen have both fallen. Now Clockwork in big trouble. He's going to try and micro into the trees and pour it out. Not going to be enough. He's going to fall. And of course, Furion will pop back up. So that's going to be a 4-for-0 exchange if you count the Aegis. And there you go. They get that final kill to make it a clean sweep on the Darkseer. The GG well playeds come out. Menace does tap out 10-19. 4FC takes it 32 minutes into this match. Another exhilarating game, but unfortunately Menace with the team that we thought might have a chance just crumbling in the end.
Oh yeah, you can see the level difference here. Nature's Prophet is level 22 and Boomski on that Razor 17. The highest hero level on the Radiant side from Menace was Darkseer with level 15. So you can see the discrepancy here. That Nature's Prophet was really imbalanced pick. So they should have banned it probably, Menace. Because that's one of the things that you think when you're drafting. If you're gonna pick a team fight, you just want to limit their ability to split push. And probably just push at all, because you want a team fight and not just being split push all the time. And they probably just didn't think about that, or just ignored the fact that one of the strongest heroes split pushing was still present. So